Apologies for the late transfer update. We've got a lot of transfers to get through today. I'm late because I've been having trouble with my cable drawer. Have you got a cable drawer? Are you with all this sort of manly cable stuff in there? It's a disorganised mess. I'm going to sort it out. Anyway, here we are. What we've got to talk? We've got to talk about some Kalvin Phillips, Callum Marshall, big news on Pablo Fornals, some stuff about Ben Johnson, Valentin Carboni. I'm just having to check the names here, and then Antonio Nusa as well. So yeah, quite a lot to get through. You all know the news by now that Kalvin Phillips has signed on the dotted line for West Ham. Covered it in a video earlier. Not an awful lot more to say. Been a little bit of an update, a few more pictures, him holding up the shirt, all that type of stuff. What he has said is, though, that joining West Ham was inevitable. It was always inevitable because West Ham have been chasing him for the best part of 2 years, or more importantly, David Moyes has been chasing him for the best part of 2 years. I'm really pleased for him. As I say, well, pleased for him, pleased for us. I think it's going to be a really, really good signing. I'll say no more about it because there is other more interesting stuff. But when I said the other day that West Ham, I expected a little dead period, and I thought at the end of the week or whatever, it's all going to kick off. Well, I'll tell you what, I wasn't wrong. There's a lot happening now. Lots of ins, lots of outs. Let's get to Callum Marshall because this, I think, is as exciting as Kalvin Phillips. I really do. Maybe not for the immediate future, but for the now. It was really important that we held on to this guy. And well, just in case you don't know, he signed a new long-term contract. He's going to go and join West Bromwich Albion on loan. I'm not sure if they've announced it yet. Possibly they'll announce it by the point I've uploaded this video. Really, really good move. Well, first of all, I was really pleased to hear what David Moyes had said about Marshall a couple of weeks ago. I don't think he does this enough. I think it's important. An important part of man management is actually what you say about the players publicly. Let them know that they're in your thoughts. He turned around and said, we really like the lad. We think he's got a bright future. He's in and around the squad. We want to see more from him. All of that sort of stuff. David Moyes picked him out, pointed him out, so I really like him. He's got a lot going for him. And this is really good. For him to sign a new long-term deal is important. When I went and watched the game against Wycombe, the under-21s played against Wycombe, I said that a load of these guys need to go out and get loans. And I said in an ideal scenario, they go out on loan. And particularly at a championship club for some of them. And Callum Marshall was one of the 4 players that I picked out. One of the other ones was obviously Gideon Kadua, who's gone out to loan on at Wycombe. So this is really, really good news for West Ham. Really good news for Marshall as well. The long-term deal is particularly good. I'm going to be watching with great interest, actually, to see what Marshall does against all the other championship teams, really. I believe he's gone to a good club. And I'm pretty sure that we'll have been guaranteed that he's going to get some minutes. It seems like West Ham's run differently. This all seems better. It's not just Phillips coming in. That does seem like a David Moyes thing. I think it's hard to call it otherwise. He's been chasing him for a couple of years. I think that's fine. I think you keep the manager sweet with a loan signing. What's not to like about that? You know, I think you sort of clear the decks just in case we don't keep him. If we do keep him, maybe we can make Phillips sign him permanent. But in the background, what we're doing, we're looking after our youngsters. We're clearing a path for them to go out on loan, then maybe into the first team. And the other players that we're highlighting and we're willing to spend money on are a younger profile. It just seems like things are a little bit different. And I'm quite happy with how this, well, I say quite happy, very happy with how this is going. I can't wait. I can't wait to see how he does, and I will not be surprised to see him scoring in the Championship. I think he's a wonderful player. He just needs, other good players around him, and you'll see the very, very best. Let's get on to Pablo Fornals. The club at hand is Real Betis. Now, Real Betis are managed by Manuel Pellegrini. They want Pablo Fornals. Again, it looks like a smart move by the club. West Ham's, Pablo Fornals' contract with West Ham was due to end at the end of this season. But West Ham had an option which we implemented. We activated the option. Had we have not done so, he could have signed a pre-contract agreement with any club outside of this country, basically. So he could have signed a pre-contract with Real Betis. They would have got him for free, and they just would have had to wait until the end of the season. By us activating the clause, it's allowed us to get some money for him. Now, the club had indicated they were willing to accept sort of between 8 and 12 million. I'll be surprised if we get that. There's a lot of money. I know I keep saying it, particularly when talking about Ben Rama. you've only got to look at the transfers that are not getting done and the ones that are getting done, the values that there are, to see these clubs in Europe don't have money at the moment. They're really dealing with the fallout from COVID. They're having to pay back money. The financial fair play has become even more stringent now because I guess I've never been a massive fan of financial fair play, but where I do think it does work is when clubs look like they might be going to the wall, and to stop a club going out of business. Financial fair play is important then. I think you're going to stop someone like Newcastle. I've got no particular love for Newcastle, but I think when you're going to stop a club like Newcastle from spending, they're not about to go out of business. So I think it's just sort of stops competition, really. But I do think there's not a lot of money to be spent. So I don't think we're getting £12 million for Pablo Fornals. I think if we get £5 million for him, we've got to say, do you know what, hands up, we'll have to accept that. It was us, ultimately, that didn't use him correctly and actually continue to use him not very much at all, really. So I've got, as I say, a lot of love for Pablo Fornals, has to be said. I hope it goes well for him. And Pellegrini, well, I mean, the irony is Pellegrini signed him for West Ham, of course, for, I don't know, somewhere between 20 and £25 million, wasn't it? Something like that. Anyway, so I think they feel they're getting a good player, and I actually really hope, I hope it works out. I hope they get the best out of him. He's never had a bad word to say about West Ham, and he's sort of always felt he really embraced the club, didn't he? Embraced being a Hammer. So good luck to him. Good luck to all of them, actually. Ben Johnson, he's staying for the remainder of this season. This is really good news as well, but we still need to sort out this guy's contract, because in much the same way that I described what was happening with Pablo Fornals, Johnson can sign a pre-contract agreement with a foreign club, an overseas club, right now. Today, he's been able to do so for the whole of January. What he can't do is sign a pre-contract with a domestic club. So we know Everton want him as one of a number of clubs that might want him. Everton, Crystal Palace. He can't sign for them now, but I think we need to try and tie this guy down. I do think that's very, very important for us to do so. But the fact that we've said he's not going anywhere between now and the end of the season, that makes absolute sense. If we don't have the money to rectify the right-back situation, then we realistically need to be dealing with this right now. And I think we can't deal with the Soufal situation right now, and his contract's running down as well. I think it's a big purchase, really big purchase right back, and I think that's something we're going to need to revisit and maybe use a bit of our budget for in the summer. So, I guess watch this space as far as that's concerned. Valentin Carboni, I think his name is. He's an Inter Milan centre-forward. Young, talented striker, apparently. West Ham are looking at him. These reports have come from the Italian media. This is not from ex-West Ham United employee or any of the usual suspects who might peddle this sort of stuff out. And a lot of these guys have got an awful lot wrong, be it ex-West Ham... Sorry, an awful lot right. Said that wrong. An awful lot right. Ex has got a lot right in the last few weeks. I think he was the one that broke the news on the Callum Marshall stuff. Fabrizio Romano's got so much right as well. So, there's... Ornstein's another one. A lot of these people are nailing their colours to the mast with a lot of this stuff. And as Gio mentioned, it was ex-West Ham United employee who broke the news and said that we were going to be looking to sign this Ibrahim Osman, and he was our priority signing. So there's a lot going on there. So these are other reports. I'm just saying they're not in the nose that you would generally get used to at this point. But Italian media are saying we're interested in this guy Carboni. He is at Monza. He's playing at Monza at the moment on loan. Not been particularly prolific, but I do like the age profile. I like these younger players. The other one is Antonio Nusa. Now, he is apparently close to signing for Spurs, but West Ham have entered the bidding very, very late. Darmesh Sheth was reporting this one. He's at Club Brugge, forward at Club Brugge. We know we look closely at the Belgian market. We absolutely know this. And of course, as I mentioned before, we've obviously signed Edson Alvarez, and we signed Mohamed Kudus from Ajax in Belgium as well. So we're clearly looking closely at this market. And I'm sorry, I couldn't keep a straight face. I'll try better next time. Antonio Nusa, I don't think there's anything in this one at all. I just think our name's been chucked in there. It would be nice, though, wouldn't it, if we were able to, sort of ruin one of Tottenham's deals, because we've had deals ruined by Tottenham ourselves and by other clubs, not just Tottenham. in the past. So it would be good to get one over on them. Don't know anything about the player, but you know what? I mean, Tottenham are not signing bad players at the moment, and I guess if Tottenham are interested in him, he probably is a very, very good player. But there you go. Yeah, Kalvin Phillips, Callum Marshall, Pablo Fornals, Ben Johnson, and the other younger lads from overseas. This is looking to be a really, really good windows finishing for that. Both for players going out, coming in, long-term contract for Callum Marshall. We need the winger. We definitely need the left winger. This is something that needs to be done. If we get this done, get it over the line, both the team and the bench looking pretty healthy.